How's your afternoon? Have you done anything exciting today? It's not bad. People are just rude today. I think it's been like a week thing, but like people have just been super rude for the past, I don't know, week. And it's like everybody, and it's always your problem. People are just rude. That's just how my day's been. I'm not letting it get to me, but my God, I'm going to call it out. That's how I feel about that. I just did make a blanket fort. Jack joined me for a little while in my blanket fort. That was about it. I looked up some things. I keep seeing this other symbol that I can't tell you where it comes from. And whenever I try to look it up, I get something similar, but it's not what it is. And it's like the other, it's not that one I showed you earlier. It's a different one. So that's been like something that's been really peculiarly curious, you know? Yeah, I don't blame you. People are just rude and they're ruthless for whatever purpose they may have going on there, frankly. But to each their own. To each their own. Do you want a shadow for today? I do want to spend, I've wanted to come on here and talk about things. I have 3 reading spots open if people want them. And then I plan to spend my Friday evening doing some book stuff. Hi, What's-Her-Face, how are you? I know it's been a weird, I know someone called it out in the Discord, but it has been like people are going through some weird stuff and it's affecting people in like weird ways. Hi, Shelly, nice to meet you. All right, Ken, let's see. What do we go? Ken, this is the protection card. Overcoming fears and safeguard. Oh, we're reversed. Hold on, let me unreverse ourselves real quick. Ta-da! Found it as I just drop a box. Stop judging yourself or caring about judgment from others and about finding and doing things that bring you joy. Make sure you're going after what you want and what you want, as long as you're not hurting anybody. Life is too short to waste time worrying or being paralyzed by fear that cause suppression about living how you believe is the best for you. Nobody else should set your rules of what is wrong and what is right, and it is your life to live. What suits you best is entirely different from what is appropriate for someone else. You don't have to attempt to fit into other people's pictures like a piece of a puzzle. The only thing that matters is how you see yourself, and if you don't like it, you need to change it. At first step, give yourself some time to reconnect with your childhood passions, which you have been doing, I will say. So kudos to you. How'd you get any more cards done? Doo-doo-doo. I hope everyone's having a beautiful It's Monday. It's Friday. Wow. Oh my goodness. I hope everyone's having a beautiful Friday. The Projection in You class is coming up on Sunday. And don't forget, if you want to come join us in the Discord, it's completely free. We do a ton of things in there. You'll also find a ton of resources in there as well. And if you're new to energy work, mediumship, talking to your spirit guides, all the things, you'll find a bunch of free information between the Patreon and the YouTube channel. All right, that's fair. I looked into Lenormand cards today. That's what I spent some of my morning doing. And I found a set that I like. But it's like sometimes it's sold out in certain places and other times it's like I don't know if I'm getting ripped off or not. And Walmart has a used set of them, which I think is weird. Oh, there you go. The beach is a good place to be today. We had this really like weird rainstorm this morning. When I went for my walk, it started to thunder, and I had looked at the weather and everything, and there was no reason for it. And then sure enough, I do my first lap and the clouds have gotten closer and it's still thundering. I'm like, I think it's time to go home. And then 2 hours later it downpoured. So there's that. It's been a weird weather day. I think we're getting your rain because I know Ken had rain yesterday. So it's probably making its way down the pipeline. Does anyone have any like big weekend plans? Hi, Carl. I see you. What you doing? Ugh. And don't forget, if you are someone who's interested in the projection class, that is coming up on Sunday. Bye, Carl. Have a beautiful day, my friend. Oh, I've always wanted to visit there. I hear it's really, really pretty. It's been raining a lot up north lately. The weather's also been weird. I don't blame you, Carl. I would too. What time is it where you are? Is it still morning? Bum, 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 bum. Hi, Vanna. How are you? Abdullah. Oh, goodness gracious. Da-da-da. Oh, it definitely is early, Carl, for sure. Oh, have you lived there all your life, Shelly? Vanna, I'm sending you all the love, my friend. That's pretty hard. So when I pull cards, I just pull them off of a general energy. So if you are someone who asks me to pull you a card, all I do is really just kind of tap my foot into your energy and see what comes through. So this is the abundance card. What it kind of feels like, truthfully, is that even though things may feel hard or difficult, being grateful for the things that you do have, because abundance isn't just money. Abundance is also having safety and having creativity and being filled with joy and being filled with love. And a lot of the time when we're focused on all the things that are going wrong, we fall out of that eye of gratitude. So even though things may be tough, still take a moment to look around and be grateful for the small things that help get you through the day. You can do it, Carl. I have faith in you. Carl, do you want a card before you go to work? I'd be happy to pull it for you. You're welcome. I hope everyone's having a beautiful day out there in the world. Don't forget, you'll find a bunch of free meditations and energy work between the YouTube and the Patreon if you want to check it out. Now I got that Funk Soul Brother song in my head. You know that song I'm talking about? Do, 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 do. Last night we had our Claire Seeing class. If you are someone who is a paid member of the Patreon, we do 2 workshops a month. So last night was all about Claire Seeing. And the next workshop is next week, and it's all about your intuition and building your relationship with your intuition. So if you would like to come check it out, feel free. And if there's anyone who hasn't had an oracle card yet and you would like one, please let me know, and I would be more than happy to pull it for you. And don't forget, our Discord's completely free. So if you want to come find resources, find people who are learning and growing together, be a part of craft night, movie night, book club, and more, feel free to come hang out. The link is in the bio. You got it, Shelly. Let's see. Hold on. I'm going to ask for a clarification versus just yank that off the bottom of the deck. Funny. So what it feels like is there's some kind of family stuff that may be going on at the moment, as far as whether it's relationships or being able to be grateful for that relationship within the family. And if that feels like something that feels right, take a look at how those relationships affect you and if in fact they are helping you grow or if they are holding you back. That's been a big thing for the week, has really been around people seeing what serves them and then what doesn't serve them and allowing it to go. And a lot of the times the things that we think that are like there and we have to deal with are the things that really don't serve us anymore. But we're programmed and taught that we need to keep a hold of certain things in order to be successful, even when they're the things that are holding us back. Dun-dun-dun. I hope everyone's having a great day, whatever you're doing out there in the world. We did a clairseeing class last night. That was super fun. Lots of people got to practice their mediumship. We practiced just being present. You're welcome with your third eye and what that looks like to receive information through your third eye. And what else did we do? Oh, a lot of people did a ton of mediumship stuff. That was super cool. And it was cool to see people getting the same answers to things too. So super fun. I love that. So the next class, if you are someone who's a member over on Patreon, is the Intuition and You class, if that's something you're interested in. Do 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 do. I hope everyone's having a good Friday. It has been some people have been strange. That's the thing I'll say. People have been strange this week. So if you've also been dealing with that, don't take it personally. Just do what you can on your side of the road. That's what I keep reminding myself. I can't control other people. I can't tell other people to stick it half the time because they wouldn't listen anyway. So, you know, that's just how it goes. Hello, Monica. How are you? What's you doing? How is your Friday? I almost said Monday again. I don't know where that comes from. Monica, thanks for the heart me. Monica, do you want a Mystic Islands or would you like a shadow? Which one would you like? Oh, I love that. He's so cute. So cute. I'm a big fan of your new friend. Did you pick a name? Hello, Dinky. Hello, hello. You know what else I just realized? Hold on, my brain just brained. Uno momento, por favor. Monica, how come you don't have access to the Shadowlands? I'm gonna fix that. I don't know why you haven't had that. Interesting. All right, Mystic Islands it is. I don't blame you, Shelly. Sometimes we need to, and sometimes rest is really productive. All right, Monica, let's see. Do do do. Okay. Is that helpful? Okay, good job. All right, let's see. Sorry, Jack had an itch. All right. Oh, I didn't get it, I don't think. Did I get it? All right, let's see. Monica, this is the Protector card. The good spirit of the Barong is always within you. Whether an inspiration or all the choices you've made in your life, this card is a reminder that deep down you have the capacity of goodness rooted in you, just like your capability to fall into doing something that is bad. Good intentions are at times not enough, and words unspoken, songs unsung, as without the action your intentions may as well be a dream. Good intentions may also at times result in someone else's misfortune, so before you take any action, be mindful that your intention is truly in the name of helping others instead of your own need to feel good. Monica, that was fab. Thanks for letting me pull it for you. I hope everyone's having a beautiful Friday. Dinky, what card you want? I have Shadow, Islands, or the Akasha out there. So you just tell me whichever one you want. Don't forget that the Projection in You class is on Sunday. If you are someone who would like to sign up, it's 33 doll hairs. We had the Claire Seeing class last night, which was super fun to watch what everybody was up to in that class. Watch people get the same information and confirmations. It was a blast. And Monday's movie night. Also, don't forget, Tuesday is craft night. It is also the night to do the book club. So if you are someone who has read The Alchemist, feel free to come in and chat about it. All right, Dink, let's see. What do we got for Dinky today? What we got? What's happening? I don't know where you're trying to scratch. I hope that helps. All right, let's see. Oh. Dink, this is the authoritarian card. Manipulation and dominance. Hi, Kayla. Thanks for the heart, me. Let's see. Drawing this card may allude to a misuse or an overuse of the authoritative power that surrounds you. It could come from you or someone else, frequently a boss or a partner. You cannot allow somebody to manipulate you into thinking anything false because only you have insight to your intentions and your innermost thoughts. If things are truly honorable and in everyone's best interests, you have nothing to be ashamed of and no cause for regret. There are those that may take advantage of your kindness, and there are certain people whose level of sadness and suffering may force you to doubt your reality. They can withhold affection or support as a tactic to punish others by using their power to manipulate or persuade people to satisfy their own desires. Do not let their pain or suffering affect you, and do not let them make you feel inferior. They want to press their views and difficulties on you because they don't want to feel left out, and they want other people to suffer along with them so they're not alone. Don't let them pressure you into feeling the way that they do. Spirit's calling everybody out today, I must say so myself. Happy Friday, peeps. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day wherever you may be out there in the world. Don't forget the Projection in You class is on Sunday if you would like to join in 33 doll hairs. Last night was the Claire Seeing class. It was super fun. Don't forget Monday's movie night, Tuesday's craft night. It's also the night to talk about our, what's it called? Our book club book. And then don't forget that the yearly shadow work journal is out if that is something you would like to grab. Oh my goodness, sorry, I have spirit burps. Also, the Daily Collective had a third eye working in it today. So make sure you check out the Shadowlands until Patreon gets its act back together. Da-da-da. If there's anyone else too who hasn't had their card yet today and would like one, please let me know and I would be more than happy to pull it for you if you want one. Oh girl, it's okay. We're gonna try to do more, have more practice stuff. That was super. What was really fun to watch is that I had everybody doing mediumship for like what they could see and what information they got, and then to listen to some of them do like get information, and the other one's like, no way, I got the same information. And so I was looking around at everybody. I'm like, there's no way you're gonna sit here and tell me now that y'all just made that up, right? So it was so fun. All right, Kayla, let's see what we got. Dun, dun, dun. This is the Perseverance card, which is usually to going through things that you don't think is ever going to end. And so it talks a lot about being able to be the boat, even though the waves want to rush you off of it, right? And so it's about being able to go through it, and let's see what the outcome of it is. Hello. Are you struggling with imposter syndrome around something? Like, are you stopping yourself from doing some things because there's like a belief that you can't, or you shouldn't, or you're not worth it? Yeah, so keep going. Whatever you got going on, invest the time in you, because really what it is, it's about your relationship with you, and when you can do for you, you can do for other people. So keep on it. Don't hold yourself back, because that's one of the hardest places that I think a lot of us guilt ourselves into. It's like, you know, when I did the class last night, you're more than welcome to do it in the Discord. Seriously. That's what the Discord is for. That's also what the Patreon chat is for. So if you're doing, you know, if you're doing your stuff, or you have questions about things or whatever, go to the Discord, go to the question and answer tab, throw it in the main chat. If you're having an experience, other people, you know, there's, like 100 people in there who are more than willing to talk it through and also share the experiences they've had too. So you don't have to do it on your own. You really don't. Get that. There's a lot of times where we need to take a step back. A lot of times. Sometimes I truthfully think that there are times where we really need to focus on us versus doing the other things, you know? So take that time for you, because you're only probably gonna build up more receiving blocks and step yourself back. So just take time. No need to rush. Jen Marie, what you doing, boo thing? What you doing? I hope everyone's having a beautiful Friday. It's good to see you. The third eye energy work came out today. And don't forget too that the projection in you class is on Sunday. It's $33 if you're someone who's interested. We're going to talk all about different parts of your auric field, how to separate yourself from your auric field. And then we're really going to look at etheric projection versus astral traveling. And we're going to do some exercises for both. Oh, like big stuff, Jen Marie? Like what you got going on? You can do it, Kayla. That's why your first card was the perseverance card. I promise you can do it. And it's in times like that where things feel really difficult. Lean on your guides, truthfully. Lean on your guides for real. Because there are definitely some days where I ask them just to come sit with me. Like, can you just come sit and be present with me, because I'm pissing myself off. I did that earlier, actually. I did. I said, people were ticking me off. I was like, can you just come sit with me? I get that. I 100% get it. I support plant life. Hi, S. Welcome in. I hope everyone's having a beautiful day. Happy Friday. Last night was the Clairseeing class. Super proud of everybody who was in there. It was so much fun. Thank you guys for continually reminding me why this work is so important. The projection and you class is on Sunday. It's 33 doll hairs if you would like to join. Don't forget the Discord is free if you want to come hang out. You'll find so much stuff between YouTube and Patreon, whether it's meditations, energy work, classes, and more. You'll find it all there for whatever you're looking to do. Yes, ma'am. It takes time, truthfully. I know some people who are able to click right in, and then, you know, other people who, after a year of building a practice, they're starting to connect in more. So I really think it just kind of goes down to what works best for you. And this is why one of the biggest things I tell people too is don't compare yourself to what other people are doing, because you'll really screw yourself in that aspect. You really will, because just because someone experiences something one way and does something one way doesn't mean that that way will work for you, or that that's even the way that works best for you. That's why the other thing too, I think knowing your energy profile is a big thing. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I always forget about the seasons of sickness. The sickness seasons. Jen, I love that. I love that. Also, the full moon is next Friday. So don't forget, we'll be doing stuff for that. Oh, good. I'm glad, Kayla. I am glad. It all comes in due time, for real. It really does. And I think the more that you do this work, the more things will just naturally start to change, you know? Dinky and I were having this conversation yesterday. I looked at her, I said, I think I've gone over to the other side. And she's like, too far, come back. And I was like, no, let me explain what I mean by that. So it really is like, it's about making those small steps for what works for you. Right, dude? He knows so much. But also, here's the funny thing. Let me tell you a story about Jack, okay? So there are people in my life who have tried to talk to Jack to get information about me, like to try and check up on me. And Jack has ratted them out to me before. One of the last times that I had another communicator talk to him, he lied to her. And I remember at the end of the session, I looked at him and I said, why did you just lie? And he goes, because I can, basically it was like, you and I can talk to each other. I do not know why you need to have somebody else talk to me. And he wasn't wrong. So bye, have a good day. So if you are someone too, who, you know, if you feel like you're not doing it or you're struggling to do it, you'll give yourself confirmations in the ways that you talk to them. And the more you start to be present, the more you'll start to see it. But yeah, he's, animals are a big spiritual barrier too. This is why one of the things that I find really interesting is when people, are doing readings or they're practitioners and they are no animals around. Because animals are like an early warning energetic system. They can see through the veil, especially cats. Dogs are really good at it. Some dogs are way more versed than others. I'm just going to put that out there. Thanks for the roses, Monica. Some dogs are more open to things, but animals are really a spiritual buffer for a lot of things. And they're also a very big deterrent for a lot of things. So I ain't trying to tell you what to do, but if you're worried about protections, go to the shelter and adopt a friend. Adopt, don't shop. I'm just kidding. Shop ethically. Thank you. Jen Marie, thanks for the heart meet. Jen, do you want a card for the day? Do you want a shadow or a mystic island or an akasha? Which would you like? Also, the projection class is on Sunday. Feel free to sign up. I have 3 reading spots open today. Whatever feels clever. You want to do, if you want to do past life, because I wasn't here yesterday, energy work, spirit guides, I'm down for it. Down for the clown. And then don't forget to check out all the stuff between YouTube and Patreon as well. And also don't forget, I am locked out of the Patreon. So I cannot access it at all. It is not just a me problem. I learned that Patreon did a massive upgrade and they logged everybody out. So I am sure I am not the only person struggling with this problem. So if you've been missing daily collectives, the classes and more, it's because it's all been pushed over to the Discord until I can get back into Patreon. So the daily collectives are posted in the Discord. All the other things are in there for now. You can still access the Patreon, all the things. I can't put new things on it. That's the pain in the butt problem. Hello, Leah. Hello, Mike. Jen Marie, thanks for the unicorns. All right, a shadow. Let's see what you want. I'm also looking at a new card deck. I learned about Lenormand cards the other day, and I'm interested to try them out. So I found a deck called the Fairy Tale Lenormand that I think I want to grab, but I keep seeing different versions of it and I don't want to get bamboozled. So stick with me while I continue to figure that out. All right, let's see, Jen. What do we got? Leah, thanks for redeeming the glasses. Jen, this is the Wounded card. Limitations and apprehension. Let's see. Are your fears, traumas, or the past controlling your progress? This card frequently represents contending with people, settings, or experiences that limit your ability to express yourself. It can also suggest that fears and anxieties are keeping you down. You may wonder how long you must endure, and the trauma certain people or experiences inflicted may cause anxieties about your appearance or the ability to express your opinions or about the profession you choose. What do you do if some people or situations make you afraid or ashamed to share your truth or follow your dreams? They might be suppressors, gaslighters, or narcissists, but a valuable lesson is being revealed here. Finding the source of this anxiety is the first step, and it's important to keep in mind that blaming someone else won't make things better. First, you must acknowledge that what happened actually did happen, and although it's not okay, you must let it go. This is what forgiveness looks like, accepting that what happened didn't make it okay, but rather that it is what it is, and you cannot change the past, so you must learn from it and move on. Wishing for an alternative reality will simply make you frustrated and sad, and the solution is the situation is to take steps to find the appropriate support and a place where you feel free to express yourself in whichever way you see fit. Jen Marie, that was beautiful. I love that one. Do. Leah, do you want a card for the day? See, I haven't heard about it until recently. So I'm interested to see what it's all about, frankly. You're so welcome. All right, let's see. Leah, do you want a shadow or a Mystic Islands? Which one would you like? Don't forget the Projection in You class is on Sunday. It's all about the different layers of our energy field. How do we access the different layers of our energy field? What's the difference between etheric projection and astral projection? And then we're going to do some active exercises to really work on that. So if you are someone who's ever if you took the class where I taught the healing modality that I utilize, you'll have a couple of the skills already in your tool belt. So you are ahead of the game. All right, Leah, let's see. Hi, Rebecca. All right, what do we got for Leah? Let's see. Ooh. Leah, this is the manifestation card, investment and inspired action. If you're patiently awaiting a change after investing time and exerting effort, understand that what you want is known to the universe. You've developed a new way of thinking about incorporating and celebrating positive thoughts. Being more mindful and optimistic and thinking more favorably while rejecting, impeding, and negative thoughts will be incredibly advantageous. Sometimes it takes circumstances longer to materialize than you'd want or hope, but you know things are happening, so be confident that your project or exertions are making headway. This card also presents a suggestion to take a step back and consider the overall picture rather than the details of the present situation. Remember that you're not the same person you used to be, so be proud of your growth and place greater value on your decision-making and inner voice than on the outside world, and recognize that prioritizing your needs and wants is not selfishness. Leah, that was fab. Thanks for letting me pull it for you. I hope everyone's having a beautiful day, whatever you're doing out there in the world. If you're someone who wants an oracle card, please let me know. I would be more than happy to pull it for you. Also, class on Sunday if you would like to sign up. What else? Monday's movie night. Tuesday is craft night. And we're also talking about the book of the month if you are interested in reading it. And then if you are a member of Patreon, next week is Soul Sessions. Next week is also the next workshop, which is Intuition in You as well. So, oh, and it's also the full moon because I was a week ahead. So the full moon is a week from today. Rebecca, thanks for the heart meet. Rebecca, do you want a Mystic Islands or a Shadow? Which one would you like? This is an old song. It's like Copperhead Road era song. It's an old one. I don't know where that came from. All right, let's see. What do we got for Rebecca today? Rebecca, this is the Show of Strength card. Do you know the song I was singing? Or the Copperhead Road song? This card signals an aggressive masculine energy that is present in your life, whether it is internal or external. The person whom this energy is emanating from intends to take control over a situation, but this show of power is all smoke and mirrors. Don't let yourself be fooled. However, this can be a sign that you might need to put on a bit of a power play to get your foot in the door and be on the way to achieving your heart's desire. For me, I think that that is where you're big in your masculine energy at the moment. And I think there is some control piece to that. Faux show. Not the name. Oh yeah, I know what you mean. It's not Smoke on the Water either. It kind of started that way, but it isn't. So I don't know what's up with that. I really don't. Yeah, I guarantee you it is. That's what it feels like for me, especially. It really feels like the internal battle wages on. Girl, I get it. I really do. Because listen, I really try to articulate and communicate and do all the things with people, but there are definitely some people that I don't think you can ever have a conversation with, and just a good sucker punch will really communicate a lot of things, you know? I had an inmate once, I'll never forget this. He was like the most like obnoxious inmate in the whole place. And I remember I asked him one day, like, why do you act the way that you act? And he just looked at me and said that violence is a universal language. And you know what? I have never forgotten that, because he's 100% right. You can try to logic your way with someone. You can try to be reasonable to someone. You can try to do all these things. But at the end of the day, that is like the universal language. Hi, Shay. Long time no see. How are you? Do, 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 do. I hope everyone's having a beautiful Friday, whatever you're doing out there in the world. I thought it was Monday for about 6 seconds earlier, so don't mind me. I also thought that the full moon was today and it's next week, so apparently I have no concept of time these days. If there's anyone who hasn't had an oracle card, please let me know and I would be more than happy to pull it for you. Don't forget, there's a class on Sunday. Monday's movie night. Tuesday is craft night. It is also the night if you want to come chat about book club book, which was The Alchemist this month. Oh, I really haven't been on here as much in the last 2 weeks, so I will take responsibility for that. I've been doing a lot more private stuff, so I haven't been on here as much, but I'm trying to get back into a scheduled routine, like trying to purposely schedule in a live stream. So bear with me, peeps. TikTok's also made it very different. Like, I remember when I first started going live a year and a half ago, live streams were very different than what they are now. So things have definitely changed in that aspect quite a bit. Faux show. No, it isn't. It really isn't. And I think that's a lot of the thing too. I've seen so many creators too that are like, you know, I'm leaving, and I don't want to leave. I met so many great people on here, but I will tell you that it's definitely changed in the aspect of it. And I also feel like the people who are, this is my hot take of the day, the people who are taking advantage of people and who are lying to people are the people who seem to have hundreds of people in their room. And it's because they'll tell them whatever they want to hear. And I feel bad that that's what's gotten popular on the app. Like, it's not about giving right or ethical, or not even so much ethical, but helpful information that's not detrimental to somebody. And it's been taken over by, does so-and-so love me? And that's just not, what is that really accomplishing? You know, what is it accomplishing? It ain't. If there's anyone who hasn't had an oracle card, let me know. Mike, do you want a card for the day? Shay, do you want one? I also have 3 reading spots if you want one. And then the class is on Sunday. And I feel like there's something else. Oh, I wrote a shadow work journal. That is up. It is for sale for $12 hairs if you would like to buy one. And I feel like there's one more thing, but now I don't know what it is. A new video came out on the Patreon on Monday about cultivating safety. So feel free to check that out too. All right, let's see, Mike. What do we got? What would you have for lunch? Anything good? All right, let's see. What do I got for hello? That was a little chaotic. All right, let's see. Mike, this is the promises card. Okay, are you debating on going to Burger King, dude? Because as soon as I started pulling this card for you, I got Burger King. And I'm like, there isn't even a Burger King any. Are you debating on going to Burger King? Is that one of your locations? All right, let's see. Lake Toba is famous for the folktale on how the lake and its island originated. In the story, Toba was a fisherman who one day caught an enormous carp. The fish turned into a beautiful woman who told Toba that she was cursed. Her name was Putri, and Toba and Putri got to know each other, and they eventually fell in love. When they got married, Putri made Toba swear he would never reveal her identity. The couple had a son, and they named him Samasir, who grew up to be a difficult and lazy child. One day, Toba and Samasir had a quarrel, and out of frustration, Toba said to his son, "What more can I expect from the son of a fish?" From where Toba stood, out came a flood that drowned him, and Samasir and Putri stood in the middle of the water, and it became an island. The folktale of Lake Toba reminds you to be mindful of your words, whether it's a promise you've made, words that were uttered out of emotion, or perhaps even when you cast a spell. Words are magical tools that hold energy that moves intention from one person to the other and also to the universe. Sometimes, once words are spoken, they can never be taken back, and there is nothing else for you to do but accept the repercussions. I don't blame you. That was a good card. I also don't blame you about not wanting to go to the King. Oh, I don't remember the last time I had Pizza Hut, to be very honest. The Alchemist book is the book club of the month book. Hello, Loki. It is the book club of the month club book. You're welcome, Mike. You're so welcome. I'm fabulous, Loki. How are you? All right, let's see. I just got an energy cord, but the person isn't in here. I think the answer is they're not in here yet. That was interesting. Okay, let's see. Shay. Hey, if it makes you feel any better, I still have to finish the audiobook, and I am one of those procrastinators, so I'm right there with you. All right, Shay, let's see what we got. Shay, I don't know lately if you've been struggling with like helping people and feeling guilty about not being able to help enough, or that you're not doing enough for other people. Make sure that you're finding a way to find balance within that. It's okay to help other people, but make sure you're not helping over in a detriment to yourself. Pouring out of an empty cup isn't helpful to you, and it isn't helpful to the other person either. Ooh, like real tacos or Taco Bell taco? Because there is a difference. There is real taco, and then there is fast food taco. I think they're different. Right, see, Ken's with me Tuesday afternoon. Okay, all right. I think you should find real. Does Utah have real tacos? get that, Shay. I think a lot of us go through that, to be very honest. I think a lot of us do. Loki, my friend, do you want a card for the day? So don't forget, the Projection in You class is on Sunday. If you are someone who would like to join, please feel free. It is 33 doll hairs if you would like to sign up through the private booking link. If you're someone who's been interested in how to connect to your energy, what your energy centers and your energy layers look like, what astral traveling and what etheric projection are, because they are two different things. And then we're going to do some exercises to get you out of your body and into the ether. So come hang out. It's going to be a blast. No, Loki, I'm coming. Let's see. They're probably rotisserie chicken tacos, generally. I want to do a Caesar pasta salad, and I think I will use a rotisserie chicken now, come to think of it. All right, let's see. Loki. Loki, I feel like you're... Yep. Are you like moving through a phase where you're like judging yourself for something or holding something against you, and you're like at the precipice of letting it go? Okay, did the video involve feet pics too? Do you eat tacos with your foot? Because, I mean, I'll take a video of that. See, Jen Marie, get out of my head. Shay, I 100% get that, for real. Making boundaries with family can be tough, especially when we're taught that you're cruel if you set a boundary, you know? Loki, keep going, my friend, truthfully. Keep going. The other thing too that really like speaks to me in this is make sure that you're looking at that forgiveness for yourself, because this is like very green, and it really brings me to one of the biggest things that blocks our heart space is forgiveness and grief, right? So make sure that you're taking that time to just go through that, not rush through it, experience it, and then integrate it. Oh, gosh, Lord, I have burps all over the place now. Okay, I'm down, Mike. You let me know. You let me know. I hope everyone's having a beautiful day, whatever you're doing out there in the world. If there's anyone who hasn't had an oracle card, let me know, and I would be more than happy to pull it for you. More than happy. Do. Hey, Loki. Have you been like experiencing some weird energy stuff that you don't know where it's coming from, or you don't understand why it's present? Can I come over and be helpful with seeing if we can solve the mystery? Hi, Kate. Welcome in. All right, Loki, let's see. Have you been called like too sensitive, Loki? Like too sensitive, too smothering, too caring, too overbearing as far as your emotions go with other people? Shay, go meet Mike for tacos. Has this experience really led you to like close yourself off and make yourself smaller and more palatable for other people? So here's what I like pick up in your energy really strong. Okay, so when I first came into your space, the reason that I picked up on that is because there's this real big like heaviness in the left side of your hip. I also want to say your hip, but it is like your butt cheek. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be that person, but it's like that side, like your hip and your cheek is like heavy, and that's usually where we hold on to that, right? And the other thing too is there seems to be this like feminine wound that's happening. Like it gives me the impression that you want to have a safe space to be you. You want to have a safe space that your internal can match the external. And it also feels like you're someone who is very particular to trying to find your one person because you're very used to being misunderstood. But I get the impression that there's like a fear, right? Because your root chakra really heavy. And then when I follow that, it goes up into your throat. And so it tells me that there is this yearning, is what it feels like, that you really want to be able to express these parts of you and be who you are, but you're waiting for the right person to accept you. And until the right person comes around, the right person won't be able to accept it. But the first person that has to accept it, Loki, is you, right? You have to accept that those people who have judged you for those things in the past don't create who you are. They don't control the narrative of who you are. They don't pay your bills. They're not a part of your relationship. All of those things are things to acknowledge and integrate and allow them to move forward. Because if you continue to wait around for somebody to accept you when you don't accept yourself, you will get to a place where you're going to fight them every time they try to hold you, to hold space for you. You won't believe them. So it feels like there's this deep yearning, but it's a yearning that if that came, you wouldn't be able to hold it. Does that make sense? Sorry, I had an itch all of a sudden in my ear. I also think too that one of the hardest things that you might struggle with is this overthinking and self-doubt. And I think it keeps you like stuck in your head and sometimes keeps you from being present in your body. When's the last time you felt like you could just take a deep breath and be safe in your environment? Has it been a long time, like years? Two more things I want to say to you. Are you shouldering somebody else's emotions at the moment? Like, are you trying to be there for other people right now, but it's like, it just isn't it? This feels obligatory. It feels like you feel that you should be able to be helpful, but it's like you holding on to this weight. The other thing I'm going to say too is I wouldn't be super surprised if you get this weird stabbing pain in the back of your chest where your shoulder blades are. And the reason I say that is because this is where we hold a lot of like betrayal stuff. And I think there is a lot of betrayal from others, but also places that you're seeing where you have betrayed yourself that you're holding on to as like a punishment. Like, it almost feels like I have to hold this because this is my curse to bear. Like, I deserve this, I did it, and I need to suffer for it. And when I said that, I felt like this big like lump in your throat, right? So if that is the case, just find a way to check in with why are you, like, where is the, I'm going to use the word, where is the self-harm needed in that? Because if we are allowed to forgive other people, we are more than definitely allowed to forgive ourselves. Loki, I hope that was helpful, my friend. Thanks for coming over to visit. Well, letting me come over to visit. Give me 1 second. Thanks, Kate. 'Tis my favorite color in the whole world. 'Tis my favorite color. You are welcome. Shay, it's whether you want me to come over in your energy and see what's up as like a general, if you want to see what your guides have to say, or if you want to do a past life reading. That's what I got going on today. So I do have 3 reading spots. If you're someone who would like them, they're $22 hairs. Feel free to check out the links in the bio. And then don't forget that the intuitive blueprint reports are out. If you are someone who's interested in what are your gifts are open to you at the moment, how do they show up for you, and what are some steps to development. Here, I'll show you what it looks like. These are what the intuitive blueprint reports look like. So essentially I do the reading for you and then I type it up in this really pretty PDF that you get to keep forever. So if you're interested in that, you'll find it in the booking link. Whatever time you book it for is the time it'll show up in your email. Okay, Shay, let me know. I'll be here. Loki, you deserve to treat yourself the way that you treat other people, because I know that you go out of your way to be kind to other people. You go out of your way to make sure people don't feel the way you felt, and you deserve that kindness for yourself too. And once you realize that and stop holding some of those things against yourself, you'll notice that that pain in your shoulders will subside. 100%. It's a tough one. I notice that when I'm starting to get out of alignment with my energy, that I will start to feel my bitterness collect in my back in that space. Kate, get it, my friend. Lots of people have been struggling with work lately. Lots and lots of people. Oh, I hope everyone's having a good day. If you have not had an oracle card yet and you would like one, I would be more than happy to pull it for you. Shay, what kind of reading do you want to do? Do you want me to just come over and be nosy? Is there something in particular you want me to look at, or you want to do a past life reading? And then don't forget, guys, the projection and you class is on Sunday. If you are someone who would like to sign up, feel free. Nosy word. Okay. I can do that. All right, let me change this real fast. Hi, Hawk. All right, let's see. Do you have you been working on like the way that people perceive you? Has that been something that has been like a big thing for you? It feels like there's been a lot of times where you try to express yourself, but then it's misunderstood. Thanks, Hawk. I'm a purple person. I've just come to that conclusion. People make fun of me for it, though. I will forever stay a purple person. Okay, there's a couple things that I'm going to just rapid fire spit out before I lose them into the ether of my brain over here. There's this heaviness in your jaw. So I wouldn't be super surprised if you're someone who clenches or holds tension in your jaw. It also feels like this tension is directly connected to your root. And it also feels like there's this energy of like keeping yourself inward. Like it's more safe to be small and not as large and not seen as much. And that really is where I think this is speaking to working through that fear of being perceived. And it's really about, this feels big on like perception for you. Because I also feel like, do you deal with anxiety, Belly, a lot? Okay, because the other two things is, I think this misjudgment thing, I think that you internalized it. So hear me out. I think that there are so many times in your life where you have tried to share your truth, share your opinion, share your emotion. Someone took it the wrong way, misunderstood it, misjudged it. And no matter how many times you try to explain or have the conversation, your perspective and your side isn't able to be seen. And so what happens is after a while, we start to internalize that as like, I must be the problem, because why is it that time after time again, no one seems to understand what's coming out of my mouth? And the reason we internalize that is so that we have an understanding of where to put it, right? Because if we're confused, it's a limbo place. But if we internalize it as our fault, well, now we have an understanding of it, and we can just say, well, it's just me. That's just what's wrong with me. The other thing too is, do you sometimes feel like disconnected from your body to your head? Really weird question. Do you have a grandmother in spirit who you have a ring from? A gold ring? Okay, I only asked because this older woman like really kind of just stepped forward out of nowhere, and when I asked where she was connected to, she brought it into this and is now like really heavy, like full of love in my heart space. Okay, do you happen to know if your dad's mom was married for a really long time? Okay, so, well, I'm going to ask you one more question about her, and then I'm going to let her pass, like, we'll move on. But do you happen to know if your dad's side of the family has a history of heart conditions? Okay, so, I definitely think that's who this is, because she was very like when she stepped forward, I said, "Who are you?" And she said, "Grandma." Like, she was very upfront about it, like very direct. And what's interesting is it's a man's wedding band. Do you have your dad's gold wedding band? Okay, because she's shown me this ring twice now. It's a man's gold wedding band, and it feels like there's a sentimental value to it, and she keeps bringing it up, like continues to just be like, hello. So do you sometimes struggle, there's two things I want to ask you. Do you sometimes struggle with feeling alone? In that no matter what you do for yourself, you'll never find someone who makes you feel seen. Okay, do you also sometimes at night get this weird, like, kind of like goosebumpy, heavy sensation on the left side of your body, kind of right before you go to bed? Next weird question. Before you go to bed, do you happen to have a lamp on your nightstand that you use as a light and you turn off before you go to bed? Okay, so I'm going to go even further. Is the nightstand on your right hand side? Okay. So I want you to know something. This is annoying because it's in my face. You are more interconnected to spirit than I think you give yourself credit for. So, she showed me you in bed, right? So that's how I was able to just describe it to you, because it is a warmer light, like it changes the tone of your room. Kind of like that. It's not very good with grow lights, but it changes the warmth of the room. And she shows me like you in bed, sitting up in bed with this light on on this nightstand. So you're on the left side, the nightstand's on the right side, right? And then it looks like there's a door off. If I'm you and I'm looking at the end of the bed, there's a door off to the right hand side, it looks like. She spends a lot of time with you, like right before you go to bed. And she is like very forthcoming in the way that she shows up for you. So I don't know if you can see, but she's very prominent on the left side. And I get the impression that sometimes you get these weird, intrusive like images, which you may see as memories. Does this make sense? You get these intrusive thoughts that are memories, so you take them as it must be you creating them. Okay, so there is a difference in recollecting a memory versus being shown something from someone else. And one of the easiest ways I can help with trying to get people to distinguish it is this. If you are sitting there minding your own business, reading a book, okay? Say you're enthralled in a book about dragons and castles and whatever. And then all of a sudden, you're hit with an image of your grandmother's kitchen table and her cookies from when you were 3 years old. That is not your brain going away from the fantasy book to grandma's kitchen. That is somebody coming into your field, and that is how they are trying to get across to you who they are. So if you are actively sitting and walking down memory lane and thinking of these things, you can, go, yep, I did that, whatever. But if you are someone who's just sitting, especially right before bed, and you start getting this like downloads of memories and stuff, just know that it is someone trying to connect with you and touch base with you. There is also a lot of love for you in spirit. I also get the impression, are you someone who's had a lot of loss? Hi, Tammy, thanks for the heart me. You have a whole tribe of people, and there is so much love for you, like truly. And I know you said that you never got to meet her, but one of the first things that really came through was just how much love and compassion there was for you. And she lists, she told me a bunch of things about, you've gone through a lot and you've been through all this loss, and sometimes it's easy to get in your own way. And she really wants to bring a reminder that like there is support for you. All you have to do is be willing to receive it. And she says that you've been working on some of these things. You've been working on your relationship, especially with other people. And she's very specific to telling me about boundaries. You've been better at building boundaries with people. Is that also true? Other thing, do you like to cook every now and then? Okay, so she keeps showing me like these really fancy kitchen knives. And one thing that I feel the need to tell you is, if you are looking for more like creative outlets, cooking is creative. Problem solving is creative. When, even when I say like get back in touch with your creativity, it doesn't have to be drawing. It doesn't have to be coloring. It can be something as simple as cooking, solving a problem. you know, any of those things, that is creativity. So if that's something you've been thinking about, maybe finding time to take space for you and the things you want to do, because I think that will be something more prominent to helping you get to where you want to be, is if you start taking more like scheduled specific time for you. Does that make sense? Because she gives me the impression that you take time to recoup from all the things you have to do, and it really doesn't leave much time for you to focus on you. Is that true? Okay. I'm just going to ask her if there's... I have this feeling that you're going to find like old pictures or something. And there's a picture that she showed me where it kind of looks like she's dressed up, but it's like an old kind of worn out picture. And it seems like when you find that, you'll get some validation about her, because I have the impression that you've seen her before, but you haven't recognized who she is. One more question. Do you struggle with headaches? Is the creaking noise by the door to your room? I do think that may be someone coming in and out of it, because it's like when I asked about it, I'm looking at like a specific spot in the floor, like a soft spot or something. And it seems like it's something that's been there for a while. And so I think and so I think that may definitely be someone's coming and going too. It feels like there's an animal also that comes around there and visits quite a bit. Okay, the last thing I wanted to say, because she brought me to your head real fast, is if you were ever interested in being more cognizant about your grounding, your shielding, your cutting your cords, you might not notice a miracle for migraines, but you may notice that they're less and they subside faster. And it especially feels like your headaches, they're like centered like here. Does this make sense? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to say goodbye to her. Give me 1 second. Yeah, she told me they're pretty ruthless, because I asked her, I'm like, is there anything else you want me to bring up? And she like went right to the headache thing. I think there's also something too about making sure that you're aware of where your body is when those are happening. It feels like some more grounding, some more being able to breathe, because I get the impression that sometimes you hold your breath. And then the other thing too would really be to focus on cutting your cords, so you're only carrying your energy and not everybody else's. Because every time we interact with somebody, every time we talk to somebody, she was like, that's where, because I said, she made me hold my breath, which is how I was like, okay. And I think there's some breathing to that. And this is from someone who used to do that too. So allowing that to go, right? And Shay, I have this on YouTube. It's a free class. It's called Energy Basics. It's also free on the Patreon under Ether 101. And It tells you all the basics of grounding, shielding, cutting your cords, cleansing, and calling your power back. And I make it in a way that you can do all of those 5 steps in less than a minute. So that way, even if you're busy, even if you're work, wherever it is, you can go out of your way to do it. I personally, every time I go to the bathroom, I use it as an opportunity to clear my energy. It's also something I bring up in that video too. I really think that would be helpful to anybody, especially if you're someone who's new to learning to work within your energy. That is the first place to start, especially if you're someone who wants to start doing mediumship, other things. Start with energy work, build the foundation, because it will save you a lot of heartache in the end. Truthfully, it really will. Shay, thank you for letting me chat with her. She's definitely from a time period where things were very, very different. Very, very different. Hi, Tanya. Oh. Hello, everybody. I hope everyone is having a beautiful day out there, whatever you are doing in the ether. If you are new here, it's nice to meet you. My name is Molly. The reading that I just gave to Shay was a general reading where she asked me to come be nosy. There is not always a promise that spirit will step forward during those readings. When I come over and someone asks me to just be nosy, I will start seeing what your body has to say, what your energy has to say, what your guides have to say. And if a spirit does step forward, then I will gladly bring them through. But I don't ever have a promise that they do come through. If you are someone who is looking for specific mediumship, I offer that in private sessions. But if you're someone who just wants me to come over and be nosy and see what's up, those are the general readings. You can, yeah, you totally can. I do have 2 reading spots left. If you're someone who's interested in them, they're $22 a spot. You can feel free to check out the link in the bio. And then don't forget, if you are interested in more in-depth stuff, you'll check out all the other links in the bio. And there's a ton of free stuff too, to help you grow your own skills. All right, let's see. Tanya, do you want your card? Hi, Spaz. Hi, Spaz. Yeah, Shay. For real. Yes, ma'am, if you want to. All right, Tom, let's see. Tanya, I feel like pulling you a shadow card. All right, let's see. What do I got for Tanya today? Tom, this is the doubt card. Submission and low confidence. My birthday's in December. Thank you, though. Appreciate you. All right, let's see. Have you been told that you can't be successful pursuing your dreams or felt that you had to put your beliefs of others before your own? You cannot put the external world and other people's visions of your life ahead of what you want. Because if you put your happiness on hold to get approval and validation from others, you will always be chasing happiness. Your spirit guide is urging you to expand your consciousness and embrace it in order to serve your highest good. Start doing the things that make your heart full and stop putting off your contentment. Face whatever shame you might feel about enjoying something that other people might find unacceptable and quit allowing them to dictate the path you take. You are the creator of your reality, so it is up to you to work towards positive well-being. You are responsible for pursuing your passions. Tom, that was fab. I love that. I hope everyone is having a beautiful day. Hello. All right, Shay, I got you. I got you. Simone, I'm going to come over to you real quick if that's okay with you. All right, let's see. Oh, love your face, Ton. YouTheBomb.com. Oh. Hey, Tanya, if you drive by the Plymouth Courthouse, make sure to flip them off for me, okay? And wear your pink shirt. All right, let's see. You're welcome. Thanks for the finger hearts. All right, Simone, I'm going to come over to you, and then I'm going to head on back over to Shay. All right, let's see. Also, don't forget that the Projection in You class is on Sunday. If you are someone who is interested, feel free to sign up. You'll find the link in the bio. All right, please stop, dude. Please stop. Please stop. All right, Simone, let's see. He's not going to stop. Simone, question. Do you deal with hot and cold flashes? Amen to that, Tom. Okay, so the first thing I noticed when I came over into your energy is that you are hot, hot, hot. Like breaking out in a sweat. My cheeks are red, hot. So there's a couple things that I noticed. One, that usually is a grounding thing. When people are dealing with hot and cold spells, especially when they're connected to nausea, it's usually someone who's connected in more energetically to spirit than they think they do. And in struggling with the energy grounding, we experience nausea, hot and cold flashes, even headaches that seem to like hang out for a couple days that we can't get rid of no matter what we do. The other thing that's really interesting is that your root chakra is really heavy. And this is usually where we hold like fears and, Katie, I got you. I have no more reading spots left for the day, peeps. Sorry in advance. I also wouldn't be surprised if you're someone who's struggling with being restless and impatient with yourself. And sometimes that leads to others. It kind of feels like you're waiting for something to give, you're waiting for something to change. And in turn, it kind of causes this internal struggle within yourself. The other thing too is I think there have been times in your life where you have been like made to feel small. And in turn, that makes you uncomfortable at being seen for who you want to be and who you want to address yourself to be. And so the more that you work through that and the more you work through understanding what your beliefs are and bringing yourself into your body, the more you'll be able to stand in that authenticity and kind of move through some of that stagnant energy that you feel stuck in. Because it just feels like the wheels are spinning, but the car isn't going forward. Yeah, if you are someone who has clingy headaches that last for days, maybe you can get the headache to move. You can take medicine whenever you want and it doesn't go away. Please just just try to cut your cords. For real. I'm so serious. Try to cut your cords and see what happens. It's free. The worst you can do is try it and nothing happens. But I have never met a human being who wasn't experiencing a headache. And when I walked them through cutting their cords, it was magically gone. So just know that we're not taught a lot about our bodies. And that in turn, leads us to think things are wrong with us or that we're crazy for what we're experiencing and we're not. Simone, thanks for letting me come over and visit. I want to pull you a card real fast. Like, let's see what we got. Yes, ma'am. Finding the balance. So take some time for you, Simone, for real. Take some time to be present with yourself. Take some time to look at what you believe and then what others have kind of made you believe that's true about yourself. And the more you start to work with your energy, I think you'll start to notice too that hot and cold will go, that nausea. I wouldn't be surprised if you get nauseous in the morning. The more you work with your energy, the more you'll notice that stuff will subside. Thanks for letting me come visit. All right, I'm going to go to Shay. We're going to do Shay's spirit guides, see what they have to say, and then I'm going to go over to Katie. And guys, don't forget, if you are looking for more in-depth stuff, you'll find things on the private booking link. The intuitive blueprint reports are 33 doll hairs. You'll find those on the private booking link. You'll find a bunch of free stuff on YouTube and Patreon as well. You are so welcome. All right, Shay, do I have permission to come on over? Come on over, baby. Now I'm going to have that in my head all day. All right, coming. Do you feel connected to the stars and the moon, Shay? Have there been times where you've tried to connect to your guides in the past, but you feel like they're not with you or they don't hear you? I'm gonna ask you another weird question. When you go to connect into your guides, do you feel a heavy presence in your lower back? Okay, so there's a couple things I want to say. So one, very honest about the fact that, you know, they've been there for a long time, the ways in which they connect to you. It feels like sometimes the connection is much more like more of a clear channel, and then other times it feels like it's disconnected and not there. And a lot of that has to do, I think, with emotional stuff, but I also feel like there's some self-worth and confidence that he brings up, and like specifically around, did you have like, as a child, were you given specific beliefs around religion? Yeah, okay. He was very adamant about telling me, like, there is a very specific background also to work through with that, right? So, he gives me this impression that there is some confidence in some of those old belief systems that kind of can distort the channel every now and then. There's a couple of things that I do want to like help you get your confirmations from him on a regular basis. And one of them is gold is a color that's very prominent for him. When he shows you things, you'll probably see them in gold. You might see him wreathed in gold. Gold is a very prominent color that comes through for him. The other thing too is when he steps into your field, there's this heaviness on your left side, but it also is because his energy seems to be focused on the back of your sacral chakra. So that's like one of the places he connects in. I wouldn't be super surprised if that's actually where your motor center is in human design. Because if that's where it is, that would make a whole lot of sense. The other thing too is, are there some things you fear that you will see the more that you open yourself up? Are you in a phase of being a hermit? So I'm going to rapid fire start saying these things, because if I keep trying to hold them, I'm going to forget about them. So my attention's been brought to a couple different things. One, some of the fears, and it's around certain belief systems that you were taught. And so I get the impression that there have been some instances that have unnerved you or like brought those fears to light in the past working with this kind of stuff. The other thing too is he speaks to me a lot about dreams, and I get the impression that you don't remember them as much as they actually happen. The other thing too is there's also seems to be this big discussion around the throat space and being able to express yourself and being able to like exude your authenticity, so to speak. I also get the impression, are there certain things that you like blame yourself or are working through forgiving yourself for, especially around like certain things you've experienced and things you would say have held you back? There's something to be said about the perspective you have of the future. And it feels like this is particular to building your tribe or community of people. Are you struggling with seeing that as something that's possible for you in the future? Can I ask it? I usually don't ever bring up relationship stuff, but is there like was there a not so good relationship and we've moved on from that and we're in the healing process of it and like starting to debate if we're gonna what we're gonna do moving forward or if it's even possible? Okay. He really would like me to talk about this, so I am going to just yak it out. He's bringing me specifically to fear around connection, especially from the future, and it comes from past things. And what he really wants to drive home is this feeling of it's going to happen again. I'm not going to be able to prevent it from happening again. I don't want to allow it to happen again. It's going to, all these things and falling into the same pattern. But if you are able to see where the acceptance of the pattern comes, where the dropping of boundaries comes, where the exchange of power comes from, okay, that is where you will be able to take your power back as far as that goes. Because there's really this like draw of, am I going to be able to do this again? Am I going to ever find someone? And it doesn't feel, while there is a romantic component to this, and it feels very connected to like my person, there also is like a community aspect to it. And I get the impression, and this is why I really asked about that hermit mode thing, because he shows me like you surrounded by acquaintances, but then there's some people who are like a little bit closer, but there's nobody who's really close. I feel like I'm in the COVID bubble, and it's just like, meh, over there. And there is a fear of what may happen, but that fear is only going to hold you back from accessing the things that you want. So the more you work on forgiving yourself for some of those things, because he gives me the impression that you blame yourself, right? And we have to give people the accountability where it's due, right? You aren't responsible for the actions of other people. You aren't responsible for what other people did. It is not your responsibility of their actions, but it is our responsibility to work through what it caused for us. And so he's really focusing on this forgiveness piece about being able to forgive yourself will open you up to so many more things. Because he also gives me the impression that you keep yourself small. There also feels like there's something about, do you not want people to like expect anything of you, or you don't want people to rely on you? Is there something with that? Yeah. Okay. tells me you get in your head a lot. And speaks to being able to get into your body when you find yourself stuck in your head. It gives me the impression of like overthinking and racing thoughts, and trying to stay busy or do anything you can to kind of like shake it. The other thing is, he makes me feel pressure on the top of my head, and so I get the impression that sometimes you also feel this. Do you also feel that? Okay, that's one of the ways in which you can start asking questions when you feel that. If you feel pressure on your crown chakra, start asking some questions about like, who's there? Are you trying to get my attention? Because a lot of the time, if spirit is new to trying to get your attention, they'll really make you feel all this pressure on your head. And some people will be like, what is that? And it's just one of the ways that they can come through is through your crown, especially if you're someone who finds yourself stuck in your head a lot. It's a way for them to kind of bring attention to it. What's this? Do you have a journal or something? Is there something you've been journaling or like writing or whatever? Okay, because here's the thing. What I was about to say is like really peculiar is the font in which the handwriting is. It's like a mix of cursive and not. So I don't know what he's trying to like portray to me like that, but he's showing me a book and it's like this very it's like, it's not cursive, but it's like cursive writing. Okay. 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 All right. I think there's something about being able to get some of these things in your body out. Even if it's not on a piece of paper, like finding a way to express the energy outside of you. Because he gives me the impression that you keep a lot of things to yourself. You don't open up with many people. This is the first time in a while that you've done something for yourself and you've taken the time to be present and just be with yourself. Do you understand that? Because there's like a lot of pride that you decided to do this today. Because I get the impression that it's not something, like there can also be some guilt attached to you doing things for yourself. Okay. Well, here's the last couple things that I'm gonna bring through from him, because one, I'm supposed to tell you that you're not behind. You're where you've always meant to be, even if the path hasn't been clear. And he gives me the impression that you are like a very like, where are we going? When are we gonna get there? What's the parking like? Can I see the menu first? And this is like a lesson in that trusting aspect too, right? Of I'm going where I know that I need to go, even if I don't know what the road looks like. And so he gives me this impression of like a brick road, right? And it's covered in fog, and you are just making the decision to follow through, even though there are people who might say that's crazy, even though there are times you might trust yourself or you might get scared of the fog, you're going through it. And so it's really about, you can't hold on to where you are if you want to be able to get where you're going, because you've never been there before. So you don't know what the directions are, right? So take the time to just enjoy the journey and keep making those well-intended steps, but you're not behind. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. You are right where you're supposed to be. And there isn't anything that you could have done better in the past to put you anywhere else than where you are now, because all of those things are what have happen to make you who you are. And those are part of the lessons that you needed to get where you're going. Does that make sense? There's so much love for you here, True. Like, I like, kudos to you for taking the time for yourself, because I know it can be hard and I know we can feel guilty and selfish for it, but really, in order to be the best version of ourselves, we kind of do have to be selfish with ourselves sometime. So keep trucking along. And I also feel the need to tell you this, that I was very vividly shown a loving, caring relationship in the future. So please know, if you think that you're in this space where you're never going to find it, that you're broken, that something's wrong with you, it is coming, but at a different part of the story. So Shay, thanks for letting me come over and visit. Okay, Kate, let me just clear my energy real fast, and then I'm going to come over to you, and the lights just flickered. You're so welcome. Here's the last thing I'm going to say real quick. This person that you may find yourself to be in a relationship with seems to have an affliction for black t-shirts. So, there you go. Mike, when you want your love reading, you let me know. You are so welcome. Thank you for letting me come visit, Shay, truthfully. It's an honor when you guys all let me talk to your peeps. All right. Kate, can I come over and visit? Hold on, I'm getting yelled at. I pay you to... Sorry, I probably couldn't say that. I was going to get in trouble, so that's why I just mouthed it. Okay. Anyway. Hi, Arlie. All right, let's see. Kate, can I ask you, would you say that you are someone who's usually a very upbeat, like whimsical kind of person? Do you really take a lot of stock in laughing? Like, is laughter and humor something that you find very important? You have a soft spot for animals, more so than humans usually. Okay. I'm going to start rapid fire and telling you all the things that are coming through real quick. One, I get the impression that you are someone people would say is very magnetizing. I think people either love you or they hate you. There really is no in between. And I think that is something that you have like seen your whole life. And I think there are probably times where it was more it affected you more than it feels like it does now. Because the most like prominent thing that I really notice in your energy is kind of within your confidence and the way you look at yourself. And then it also feels like you are someone who really overgives and tries to be there for as many people as you can, but you struggle to receive the same from other people. Does that make sense? I also get the impression that you're someone who sees things very differently than other people do. And that sometimes causes you to kind of keep to yourself and not say anything because you've been ridiculed for that different perspective before. Does that also make sense? Do you find yourself sometimes dealing with, like, I want to use the word overcrowded thoughts? So, do you also deal with intermittent neck pain? Okay, so when I body scan up further, okay, there's this ache that kind of starts at the base of your skull to your neck. And a lot of the times it's where we hold resentment. And not that anything has, that people have done us wrong a lot of the time, but a lot of the time resentment can be when we're constantly overgiving, we're constantly helping people, we're constantly there for people, but we don't feel that we're receiving that same energy exchange. We don't feel that those people are still present, like, and helping us in the way that we help them. And why am I always overpouring? That's where some of that can lead. The other thing too is I think you are someone who is very good at intellectualizing your emotions. Do you know what I mean by that? Yeah, I get it. Being the oldest daughter is its own archetype in itself, truly. So when I asked about those overcrowded thoughts, I think what it looks like is that you'll take things and you'll, like, sort it into its file. And it's like, oh, this goes there. Oh, this goes there. Oh, this is why this is happening. And it's about also that holding on to things. I can fix things. I can control things. I can handle this. I can do this, right? And it's, well, I'm just going to move this over there. Well, I'm just going to move this over there. Well, that's what this is, and I'm just going to put it right here. But one of the hard things about that is, in order to actually move through the feeling and the energy, it has to be felt, not just intellectualized. So make sure too that you're finding some time to sit with that, like, as you acknowledge what it is, why it's there. Make sure that you're still allowing your body to feel it. Because I also get the impression, would you say that you are someone who's very busy a lot of the time? You stay busy. There's a lot of heaviness on your shoulders. And so it gives me the impression that you take on a lot of responsibility, not only in your own life, but for other people, as far as helping them with their things, helping them with their whatever they may be going through. But do you struggle to receive that from other people? Because I get the impression that you would be able to hold space for someone, but would struggle trusting and allowing someone to do it for you. Kate, when is the last time that you were able to do something for you without needing to be in service of someone else or worry about someone else for that? Has it been a while? I just get the impression that it's very hard for you to get a second to be present. Like they constantly show you doing things and moving around and just always busy. And it's like, it feels like you go from work to work again, just in a different context. And I also, are there certain things that you used to like to do that you like stopped doing, but you don't even know why you stopped doing them? Make sure you're able to live a life for you too, though. It's very easy for us to get wrapped up in everybody else, and then time blows by and we see ourselves and we're like, oh, there you are. I've been too busy looking at everybody else. Can I ask you one more kind of weird question? Do you get random bouts of nausea that is followed by like burping or really hot or cold sensations? Do you struggle with going into crowds in like certain spaces, like hospitals or nursing homes, things like that? I have a feeling that you are more energetically inclined to things than you think you are. And I think sometimes that's where that overwhelming feeling comes from, especially when it comes out of nowhere. It kind of gives me the impression that depending on the energy of where it is, so depending on the situation, is where it's understood within your body what's happening. And if you did find the time to start being present and just taking some time out of the day for you, you can start to learn what those energetic cues are in your body. And it especially feels like, are you around a good amount of people on a regular basis? Being able to be present with your energy and build in some energetic hygiene might make a difference for you in some of those aspects, especially if you keep dealing with those random headaches that you don't know where they come from. Especially if like you're sitting on your couch and you're watching a movie and all of a sudden you're overcome with sadness, or all of a sudden you're overcome with anger and there's no reason for it. It usually comes from the access of energetic cords that we have open. And so what I will tell you is I see a good amount, and it tells me that you're around a lot of people all the time. And so usually, especially when people, are in healthcare, they're in helping stuff where they're working with a lot of people, being cognizant of our energy is something that we can work on, because it stops us from bringing other people's stuff into our space. I'm just going to ask one more question. Take some time to get outside too, because I don't know if they're showing me a specific place, but it looks like this is a house that has like I don't want to say it's a wraparound porch, but it kind of looks like it might be. And it has like a swing on it. And it seems like it overlooks like grass and some trees. So if you are too finding it hard to like take time to be present, just go out in nature for a minute and connect in and like see what comes to you. See how your body feels. Take a minute not to worry about what someone needs or what someone wants. Take time to just be and see how that goes. Because I think a lot of things too is when we're really stressed out, it'll stop us from receiving a lot of things. Does that make sense? Also, are you okay if I pull you a shadow card? Because I feel like one would be warranted. It's a really pretty house. I got to see a real quick view of it. All right, let's see. This is the activation card. It's about direction, choices, and certainty. Let's see. Because of the decisions and choices you've made, your energy is beginning to shift, and you will start to understand that you have much more power than you ever thought possible. When you acknowledge your shadow and work with your darkness, external influences will sway you or steer you in a direction you didn't intend. Recognize that deciding on and establishing your direction is the most important thing you can do. What a wonderful time for you to develop and expand in this new direction. This is a reminder that even though you may not realize it, the choices you are making and the plans you are following are important. Your spirit team is letting you know that they are there to work with you and not for you. Your future is always shifting and it is not fixed. Before your incarnation, there might have been intentions that were arranged, but you do have free will. As you become more aware of this, you'll realize how magical you are. How you experience life is directly related to the choices and the decisions that you make. Momentous, that was hard. What a momentous time. Your energy is adjusting to be more in line with your genuine purpose and truth. Now that you are more self-aware and confident, you may start to witness improvements in your reality. You know now what is right for you and what is not right for you. Kate, thanks for letting me come over in your space. The last thing I want to leave you with is this. When we are so in service to other people, it can be really hard to not feel guilt or shame in taking time for ourselves. But in order to be there for other people, we have to pour into our own cup too. So I hope that you find some time to do that. Whether you go, I don't know, for a mini car ride, go get ice cream or something. Find some time to do something for you and not something you need to do. Because so many people will tell me things like, I go to get a pedicure every week. And when it becomes a routine and something that you just have as a part of your daily life, it's not really self-care anymore. It's something that you've built into just your regular routine. What I mean when I say self-care is being present with you, doing something for you internally, not something to do with the external. So whether you go sit out at the lake, go get your favorite dinner, and then do something that you really want to do. Really take the time to be present with you, not just, well, every time I do this, it's for me, but it's something you actually have to do or you're doing it for somebody else, you know? I love that. I know, I've been saying that today. When I was on my walk this morning, I was like, I can't wait for the cooler weather to come around for real. Oh, Kate, thanks for letting me into your energy, my friend. January feels like a big month for you, so I wish you all the luck in the world to all of the upcoming things. And truthfully, if you are interested in doing some of that stuff for your energy work, I have tons of free stuff around it on YouTube and Patreon if you want to check it out when you get the time. And that's for anybody. If you're someone who's new to wanting to work with your energy, any of that stuff, I have a ton of free stuff to get you to start building your foundation. So please feel free, check it out. Because the more we work with our energy, the more you'll start to, bye Monica, the more you'll start to really see what we avoid when we stay stuck up here versus hang out in here. So, and that's for everybody too. Like if you notice that you're someone who finds yourself stuck in your own head, get into your body and into your heart space. Because remember, every other civilization but ours thought that the seat of the soul was the heart space. And then here we have us that's like your head, logic, ego, fact, your head, when the seat of the soul is really through your heart space. And your heart space is technically the largest electrical, space in your body. It goes like 3 feet out. That's why too, if you're doing the projection class on Sunday, or if you're someone who's taken classes with me, one of the things you'll first learn when you go to step into the ether is your hands will turn on. They'll turn on like a Christmas tree, and they turn on because they're an extension, they're a minor chakra of your heart space. That's why if you ever feel that in your heart space, you'll feel it go down your shoulders and into your hands. So take some time to work with your energy for real. If you're someone who, you know, you stay on top of your medical stuff, you stay on top of all those things, your aura is it is your medical stuff. Your autoimmune diseases hang out there too. There's so much that we're not told or that's hidden from us, and it's a shame. It really is. And that's why I love to talk about it. Da, da, da. So I hope everyone's having a beautiful Friday. Is there anyone who hasn't had an oracle card that would like one? I would like to give you a friendly reminder that the Projection in You class is coming up on Sunday. It is $33 a spot if you would like to join. It is all about the different layers of our auric field. It is about how do we notice or realize and use the difference between astral traveling and etheric projection. And we're also going to do some exercises to practice both. So I'll give you the real quick rundown. Astral projection is more working in the astral. Etheric projection is also being able to work in the physical without having to physically be there. So if I'm someone who's ever come over and I've helped you find something, I've helped you look for your lost pet, any of those things, I'm etherically coming over to you versus astrally. So those are the things we're going to talk about in the class on Sunday. Hi, Brittany. Okay, let's see. What do we got for Brittany today? Let's see. Hello. Brittany, have you been kind of going back and like doing some work on the things that you've experienced in the past? I don't know what that song is. Don't know. So this is the abandonment and the taking stock card. So these are the two that came out. So usually when I see these come out together, there's a perspective shift that usually needs to occur around the feeling of being abandoned or some of the beliefs we hold around abandonment. This also can speak to making sure you're not abandoning yourself, because a lot of the time when we talk about abandonment, we focus on so-and-so made me feel abandoned or so-and-so abandoned me. Whereas one of the biggest things we can do is abandon ourselves without even noticing it. So make sure that you're taking stock of where you are and where you want to be, and are you giving your power away or are you allowing your power to be given somewhere else? Okay. Thanks for letting me pull it for you, Britt. Is there anyone else who hasn't had their card yet? Arlie? Arlie, would you like one? You are very welcome. Very, very welcome. I hope everyone's having a beautiful day. Don't forget Vicky, you got it. The class is on Sunday if you would like to sign up, and there is a ton of free stuff between Patreon and YouTube if you want to start learning about energy. All right, let's see. I'm going to go to Arlie and then I'm going to go to Vicky. Let's see. Arlie, are you hungry? Yeah, okay, because I'm like, why am I all of a sudden hungry? It ain't me. Okay, let's see. Okay, that's kind of what I thought. So I feel like you're in this space where you're stepping into being able to more freely feel your joy and express it and own it. Because I really think there are times where you felt guilty about loving yourself and like being happy and allowing yourself to like shine and grow and all these things. And it feels like this is something that was generational and like karmic in a way of learning this lesson to really be able to fully express and love yourself without worrying about the way that other people perceive it or what people tell you. So I hope that you are finding those ways to embrace the small things and be grateful for you, and also do the things that make you happy even if other people don't like it or they think it's them. So get it, Arlie. Get it, girl. All right, Vicky, let's see. What do I got for Vicky today? Let's see. That is a popular card today. Vicky, are you thinking about like giving up on something, a relationship, something you've been working on? Like, are you thinking about like changing something? You're welcome, Arlie. No, I don't think it's about a relationship. It feels like there's some kind of change. Like you're making a decision, whether it's a platonic, like a friendship, a family relationship, a change in a job. Like it gives me the impression there's something you're thinking about letting go of. Okay, the answer is don't go back. Because this is the abandonment card and the River Styx card. And that's the don't. Look at where the feeling is coming from, where the trigger is coming from, and then assess it from there. Don't make a decision based out of fear. Make a decision based off of what's best for you, not acting out of an old wound. Shay, thanks for letting me come visit today, my friend. It really is an honor and a privilege. So thank you, thank you. You got it, Vicky. Thanks for letting me pull it for you, my friend. Don't let the old wounds make us act up. All right, here's the deal. Jack would like to go outside. I have to pee. So I am going to run away. Friendly reminder, you can still sign up for the class on Sunday if you are someone who would like to. Feel free to check out the private booking link if you would like to do an intuitive blueprint. I can show you what they look like. And then Monday is movie night in the Discord. Tuesday is craft night. And it's also when we're going to talk about our book of the month club. So don't forget the projection in you class on Sunday. If you would like to sign up, it's 33 doll hairs. And you'll also find a bunch of free things on YouTube and Patreon. And I will be uploading this live stream to YouTube today. So if you are someone who had a reading and you would like to go back and listen to it, you will find it on YouTube.